give a huge round of applause to everyone from TechPeaks, and the entire team has really pulled out all the stops. This is definitely one of the best workshops we've been to, with the space and the organization. It's really, really wonderful. So round of applause. And special thanks to all the mentors who have worked pretty much around the clock helping you guys out. Not all of them are here, but another round of applause for all the mentors. I'd like the judges to stand up and introduce themselves, if they would. Yes.
Hello, I'm Andrea Conti. I come from the EIT ICT Lab, and I'm a business developer. I'm a startupper as well, as you might be, so I'm happy to be here. It's very nice. So it's my first time at TechPeaks, so everything is new, and so I'm very interested in seeing your presentations.
Welcome.
Hello to everybody, my name is Michele Curti. I'm a business agent here representing the VA Trento Association. My normal daily life, I'm an IT manager, and good luck for your presentation and have fun.
Thank you. Hey guys, you all know me, Francesco. I'm a mentor. In real boring life, I'm a consultant in finance and strategy.
Andrea Bondi, Trento Rise, the last minute comer, here.
Yeah.
Okay, you know me, the professor in the house.
Right, for those of you who don't know me,
so we had some announcements about the prizes that are on offer for the first and second place team. First prize is, and these have been arranged by sponsors and mentors and TechPeaks, so pretty incredible stuff. 1 week of free access to the Fab Lab at Progetto Manifattura in Rovereto, about 20 minutes away, offered by WITED, the company of Andrea Zaini, one of the mentors.
here.
So if I'm not mistaken, you can have a whole week to make a lot of really cool 3D stuff, etc. That's
3D
awesome.
printers. What's in the Fab Lab?
3D printers, many material from carbon fiber to STL, laser cutting, vacuum caster, whatever you want to build, you can build that.
Great.
So wine tasting at Canteen Ferrari. One advising session each with myself and with Eric. And the winning team, I'm going to hand make some custom wallets for you featuring your team photo and the TechPeaks logo, and they'll be custom made just for you guys. And second prize is wine tasting at Canteen Ferrari, and one advising session each with myself and with Eric.
Nice.
So let's not waste any more time. This is the order in which the teams are going to present. We have a clicker and a laser pointer. I'm going to add one more. Okay. And first team, Event 360. Come on up. So, and this forward back.
Okay, let's start. Hi everyone, my name is Volodymyr, and we are Events 360. We help event organizers with the best quality video coverage during their events using the latest drone technology. So, here is our team. Carlo, Adolfo, Ashwin, and me. On Monday night, we started with a very simple idea. We wanted to solve the problem of missing pictures, of missing people on the pictures. When you are with your friends and you are taking pictures, one person is always missing, the one who is taking the picture. And how we propose to solve it is to use drones with cameras, controlled by smartphones. But during some short brainstorming, we decided that our customer segments should be like sport people, active people, mostly doing mountain sports. So on Monday night, we started our first experiment. We decided that we need to interview 20 people, and we set our success criteria as 10 positive feedback out of 20 people. 10 people that stated that this problem is big enough for them. We went out of the building, and we went to the university, because there are many active people, young people, and open people willing to give feedback for us. So we get 7 positive results out of 16 interviews. 16, not 20, because we had very limited time on the day. Our learnings from that were that people, there are different people actually, and not everyone, not all sports and active people liked photos and videos. And many people were not interested in technology now. So we decided to narrow down our customer segment only to young people from 20 to 35 years old, and tech-savvy people and photo and video lovers. This time we decided to propose to them our solution, to use the drones with cameras controlled by smartphones. So we went out of the building. This time we went to the store. This is a photo of the actual Sportwear Alpine store here in Trento. We were standing here at the exit of the store and interviewing people. Yeah. Our original criteria was to interview 5 people and get 3 positive feedbacks from them. We managed to get 2 people interested in this. But what we learned from this experiment is the fact that many people are interested, but not that much, not interested enough. For many people, it's not. It's problem that nice to have, but they don't really need this problem. It's not enough. Also, for many people, this was too futuristic solution. So and one of the persons that we interviewed actually proposed us to
2 minutes left.
To sport organizers, because these organizations, they always want to be on the edge of technology to get the best of it. So we switched to sport events, focused on that. So today in the morning, we conducted an experiment. We decided to set our success criteria as we are making 8 phone calls, and we want 3 positive feedbacks out of that. We did it. We actually collected more than 3, so we even overachieved that. We got 5 customer emails of interest from these people. So we understood that we are on the right track and we hit our customers. What we learned from that is the fact that
1 minute.
Yeah, we need to talk not only to event organizers, but to the company hired by event organizers, such as video service providers. Here is a landing page that will help us to collect even more customers. Actually, somebody registered there. And our currency from these last 2 days. We learned a lot. Now we are much more comfortable like going out of the building, talking to people. And during these 2 days, we collected 5 customer interest emails that will lead to the potential sales. Thank you.
So now there's going to be a 3-minute period of questions and answers, and only judges get to ask questions.
Did you ask for money for this solution?
You mean for the latest, for event organizers, right?
Yes.
Not really. We didn't ask for actual money, but we decided we wanted to get appointments with them first and talk like person to person, because I didn't mention that we focused on local event organizers here in Trento.
How far was the interest from your first assumption about using the drones? Their interest, because they might be interested in safety and security issues.
Yeah,
rather than in the pictures of the missing guys.
Yeah, that was our learning actually. That people have different concerns actually about that. Some people have concerns about security. Many people were afraid of damaging this drone. It may be expensive, and we learned that it's the future. It's definitely like the way to go, but we are not there. It's like it sounds like too futuristic, and it will cost us too much to educate people how to use it.
So,
Who did you call and why?
Who did you call?
Yeah.
Carl, can you help?
Yeah, sure. We call organization like the sport event organizer, like the marathon, like the mountain bike event organizers. We call another event organizer for bike runs.
Why?
Why then?
Yeah.
Because they attend, they organize very big events. We are sure that they have the budget to invest on marketing side, so we decided to give those guys.
Why do you consider the drones as a marketing tool? Google is going to use it for I mean, not Google, I think Facebook or Google, I do not remember. They are going to use it for let's say, web internet coverage. Today there was the day after, I think on Monday in Affari Finanza there was a product like the ones that you are promoting. I mean, video cameras with drones for covering huge areas for security issues. Because there are also.
It's 40 seconds left.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, there are different applications for drones. There are many, for example, in like military technology, but we wanted to focus on this video and photo capture because it's more like customer friendly and it's easier to explain for people.
So you started your idea with drones.
Yes.
That was already kind of the solution. Did you ever consider any solution not involving drones?
We considered it. We had them in our experiment board. We brainstormed about it, but we got some expertise here, so we wanted like to continue working on this track.
right? Thanks.
How to find the right position.
Right.
Yeah.
Hi guys, so this is our team. It's me, Lucia, Ricardo, Christy, and Samuel. We are Next Bob. We are Next Bob. Why walk when you can crawl? So a big thanks to Mark. We were very excited when we started out. We set out a bunch of personal goals for ourselves. We set out team goals, like one team goal that each person wanted from the team. We put up what we brought to the table, like each one had a set of skills, and we decided that, you know, we want a role for each person. So Lucia and Ricardo were fantastic in speaking Italian and doing sales for us. Lucia did a lot of design work. I did product. Christy and Samuel were helping us with MVP and the technical end. I think this is great, so thanks Mark, this helped us a lot. So when we started out on Monday, my first pitch was, let's go to restaurants and let's try and solve the problem of turning tables or managing traffic inside the restaurant on busy days. Our riskiest assumption was that restaurants are not happy with the queues outside the door and that they need more customers. They want to see as many as possible. Totally invalidated when we got out of the bid, because what restaurants told us was we actually like queues outside the door, and even if we don't like queues outside the door, we're pretty good with manually estimating how long tables take to turn. So big fail right there. We pivoted at the end of that experiment from our learnings, and we decided, all right, let's go to restaurants that need to fill these tables that are not full on busy days. We thought that they might have a capacity problem and there might be something over there, so we set up a second experiment for that. And we went out with the assumptions that owners are probably not iterating fast enough on their menus, and so maybe we can help them with that. Big problem. We run into the siesta. So everybody's sleeping, the restaurants are closed. This is like 4 p.m., we're frustrated. So our entire third experiment, siesta.
Everybody was sleeping. Got nothing out of it. So this is how we felt at that point. We were pretty frustrated because we were walking around the city, trying very hard and getting nowhere. This is where I want to thank Eric, because Eric told us that, you know what, you can pivot and go to other customers in the hospitality industry, like gelato places or coffee places or pubs, and see if you can find any patterns, see if you can see any problems that are occurring everywhere. Fantastic idea. So we set up our next experiment. We went to gelato shops, we went to cafes, we went to pubs, and we tried to see if we could find any patterns. All 5 of us split up, went to 5 different places, and we found 3 very interesting common themes, 2 of which helped us set up in the next experiment. The 2 themes that stood out were places were having problems with seasonality. So on weekends they would have a lot of customers, and on weekdays they wouldn't, or at least early in the week. And then they would staff for like 2 or 3 servers, but they wouldn't get that many customers at all times. So sometimes they were understaffed, sometimes they were overstaffed. So we set up a final experiment. We said we'll go to pubs that are open early in the week, and we'll basically say, the problem that we assumed was that they had early week seasonality issues.
2 minutes.
And our biggest assumption there was that pubs are not satisfied with the sales in the early weeks and they have seasonality issues. We validated the problem because we spoke to 5 pubs and 4 of them had this issue. So the solution we set up for that was that we would build an app where a pub owner can basically say, all right, it's Monday evening, it's 5 p.m. I know at 10 p.m. I have a salsa class or a salsa event, so I'm going to get a lot of crowd. But between 5 and 8, I don't have a lot of crowd and I have too many servers, so I'm losing money. So basically they go to our app and they push an instant limited time promotion to all the users in the app, saying that for the next 2 hours only, you get 30% off on the beers if you come to our place. Turns out that they love this idea. We were able to basically get 2 signed letters of intent. 4 pubs are in negotiation with us for using this service. We couldn't get them to sign because they were closed early in the morning. We got 10 new email leads. Also, restaurants are actually interested in this. They're like, you know, there are days when we don't have enough people walking in, we have servers, so maybe we can work in that space also. And we got 24 Facebook likes, for which I want to thank a lot of people in this room, and I welcome you to join the next problem.
Judges?
You mentioned that you got 24K.
24 unit Facebook likes.
No.
24.
For 24 Facebook.
Oh, we've been online for like 90 minutes.
I'm used to Ks, okay. But how did you use the social networks?
So basically, we set up a landing page. It's not a site.
It's a landing page.
We set up a landing page. We made a Facebook page that points to the landing page, and we got 24 Facebook likes. So our idea was on the user end, we would have them come to the app to look for the next pub to go to. I'm outside and I'm looking for some, you know, done at this pub, want to go to another pub, where's the cheap beer?
I have a question.
Yeah.
What is in your letter of intent?
So,
briefly.
These are the 2 letters of intent. We took the template from the website. It basically says that we are very interested in your service. We have this problem that early in the week we don't have customers, and we want to try a pilot version where you will let us use the service to push a limited promotion instantly. And if we like the product, we will then tie it to a long-term contract after that. So no
is there any price mentioned in any of these?
We wanted to do that, but because we hit the solution like 1 or 2 hours before the event, we couldn't decide on a price. And so we figured that we want to get the interest first. And hopefully tonight we'll have 4 more people on board. So once we have 6, we'll work on a price. We thought we would do a monthly subscription. So base subscription, and then based on the number of people we are able to bring into the pub, like, you know, an affiliate fee of how many extra people are working.
How can you monitor it?
How can you monitor it? See, we thought that once the user goes to the pub, the way they can cash in on the discount or the promotion is by checking into the location. That way we get publicity, the pub gets publicity, and only if you check in will you get the discount, so that's analytics for us.
Did you talk also with the customer of the pub or just with the pub owners?
We spoke to a lot of the servers and the pub owners, so whoever was available to speak to us at the time. So Ricardo actually spoke to 2 servers who gave us a lot of insight. Some of us spoke to owners, so not necessarily people sitting over there, but like the people who are serving and then the managers. So actually, what was amazing was we went out of the building so many times and we spoke to so many different franchisees. that we actually learned a lot about the business also, which was pretty fantastic. And by the time we set up our 5th experiment, we were like experiment ninjas. Like all the assumptions were perfect, spot on, and like, setting the experiment up was very quick.
Okay. Last question, 20 seconds, otherwise we...
How do you think you can get enough critical mass of users?
Enough users to use the app. We personally always want to know where to go next. And so the way we want to set it up for the users is we will help you discover places to go to when you're already outside.
How do you reach them?
The landing page, social media, probably other channels that we haven't thought about yet, but at least those two.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Back.
Hello everyone, I'm Sergey, and this is Gabriela and Dylan. We are on demand. We help teams and managers to communicate better. And we started with university students. We thought, we started with the procrastination problem. I'm sorry. Of that.
Something will make it pause.
Who could be the worst procrastinators? And we thought it was students, but we were terribly wrong. The students did not have this problem at all. They were doing everything ahead of the time. They were doing fine. Next slide. So not validated. Next slide. But we learned some problems from students, but they were not quite related to what we wanted to do. Then we decided to address very busy Trento rights managers. And we thought that they might have some problems with time organization or optimization. Next slide. And that was very informative, very productive. We learned a lot about their problems, about how they organize their time and what are the nuances. Okay, next slide. So we decided to go out on the street and to address like middle managers who have their teams, who have some people to manage, and we made we wanted to address our MVP was like we were telling people about our product. We didn't show them anything yet on this point. But we came up with a solution, an artificial system that organizes their daily agenda based on their habits. It learns and help them organize their agenda. Okay, next slide. And we got not very positive response. People were ready to give us emails, but they were not exactly interested in that. And we learned that many people were happy just with pen and paper, and that was their tool. Okay, next slide. At this point, we were very, very upset. Then we decided, next slide, to pivot once more. So we decided to address startup owners. And one thing that we learned with Trento rights managers that there are, and not only with them, but also with other people, there are just too many different tools. There are productivity tools come in all flavors, and everyone loves their own tool, and that was quite a problem as to us. So we decided to check that, and we made a small MVP. Please, next slide. And this was our MVP, which stands for minimum viable product. We showed this picture and we explained it a little bit. So this is your usual email on the left, and here's your usual like Gmail, and you have what different productivity tools have in common is that they send email notifications about the tasks. So you have different email notifications and also emails from important people or maybe less important tasks. And the system learns and automatically organizes them into projects which allow you to see things like 1 minute Gantt diagram or your daily agenda. Okay, next slide. And we were somewhat successful with that. It was invalidated, let's say, but we had some insights and ideas how to. So we decided to address other customers. Next slide. So our customer is teams with more than 5 persons, and this is what we learned during the process, and we posted our MVP on a Facebook group of startups, of Latin American startups, and we got some feedback. Next slide, please. Yeah, some positive feedback. People were interested, and we got to like ESKIMOS, which stands for people who are very interested, and we got 14 emails, and they keep coming through the Facebook. Thank you.
All right, questions?
So can you summarize in a few words what the solution that you proposed
Solution is a tool for better communicating within a team that use different productivity tools.
Have you ever looked at Salesforce?
Salesforce. I know about it, but not maybe.
It's 1.6 billion dollars, of value in just selling the applications, the apps, the API. So before doing such a work, you should understand exactly how people are organizing Salesforce, customer. You have to know your market. As the guys before, they went to the pubs, they wanted to understand the problem. You went to the end users, okay? You have also to, we are TechPeaks, okay?
Yes.
You have to have a clear view of what technology is giving today. So Salesforce, also Gmail, there are tons of technology that can give you the possibility to prioritize on organizing in the right way your agenda and so on. You want to see the value of it.
Well, Gmail gives you just lists of emails. It does just that. Gmail just gives you lists of emails, right? So it does not really organize
if it comes from my boss, I can check it so that it comes on the top. So
you're right, but if you have like 20 or 40 tasks, different tasks, you might be not satisfied with just lists. You may want to have some structure, and you want to have some diagrams.
I think the point is, did you manage to validate also the solution, or were you too tight?
The solution is somewhat validated for startups, and we were going to address the more like for teams of at least 5 members that have at least 5 members.
For the moment, you validated with 4 cases. You tested it on 4 cases.
We have, I think, 5. Yeah.
4 or 5. Okay.
For 5 out of. Okay. Let me see. 3 out of 7 were interested, and later we had a Facebook thing with more interest.
We changed the customer segment, like for accounts.
So no more time for questions. Every second.
All right.
Okay, hi guys, my name is Adrian. Welcome to the presentation of Risto Casa. We are basically an Airbnb for food. That is a place where tourists can go to local to eat a traditional dinner in a local's house. This is the amazing team that started working 2 days ago on the traveling board. And we obviously have two categories of clients. One are the chefs that are cooking for tourists, and the other are the tourists themselves. So we started with the amateur chefs that are ready to host people. We think that our customers are the people who love to cook traditional meals. Their problem, we assume that is making extra money with their hobby. And the risk assumption is that they have enough time to cook to do this on a regular basis. So we established to do 30 interviews. We hope for 10 to 25% success rate, and we had amazing results. I mean, we talked to people here in the supermarket, the food market, and we had 70 people out of 32, 53% success rate. We had people who came up with a menu the very same day to host people that night with a price. And we had two fantastic American coaches in the town, and they were ready to try the local cuisine. So of course we charged them 50 euro, 25 euro per person. We charged 20% on the transaction, and we got them to Mr. Caspare. Got the money. So he actually got the money from them. They had an amazing experience, judging by their Twitter feed. The food was good, apparently 3 bottles of wine, okay? So they had a great time. We went this morning to talk to the host, and he was like so excited. He's ready to do it again. He actually brought in another friend who said he has a bigger place to host bigger groups. So he was really, really, truly excited. So that was fine. So this part was a lot. We had a lot of validation. It went well.
2 minutes.
So we moved to the tourists. We were targeting people who are traveling, who want to meet locals, and would go to some local house in order to taste local cuisine. And that happened. This is not Trento, of course, but we didn't find enough people here. The tourists were here for just a few days, for just a few hours, unfortunately. Many of them spoke German, very hard to talk to them. So we went back, and we wanted to talk to locals who want to like to travel. And we were hoping to see if they wanted local dishes. And the riskiest assumption is that are they interested in local food? So we went there, we went out on the street, we talked to them. We got a lot of them who were actually willing to pay money while they were on vacation, but that was not enough. I mean, these are locals that will go sometimes in a vacation. We did the next best thing. Instead of getting out of the building, we get out of the city. We went to Verona airport to talk to real tourists coming into Italy, and they were ready to pay money for a dining experience that same night. So we had 22 interviews, 7 concrete results, 32% rate, 320 euros earnings, and we have a lot of lessons learned. Hosts that love food are very good. We know the exact location where to find them. We need to target big cities. Talking to tourists is difficult. We need to reassure them. They were sometimes afraid that we're scamming them. So reviews are important. We found out that languages are important so that people hang out together and spend a beautiful quality time. What we do next, more customer interviews in order to do a proper market segmentation and to have better demographics. So we validated the idea, we got some cash, and a lot of people had good fun. Thank you.
So did wine help with the language problem, Mark?
Absolutely. At some point we weren't sure what language.
The language of the wine.
Are you stepping up in a technology, let's say, level? In a platform, something like that?
Well, this is basically a platform business, because we have two customers that we need to bring together at the same time on a platform. But before building the MVP, we need to look more into the demographics. So we found out that amateur cooks were easier to find. We thought this was the hardest part to find, people who accept strangers into their house. But we found it to be quite easy. On the contrary, we all think that normally as tourists, you want to taste local food. But it was so hard to get good feedback from tourists. They were afraid of talking to us. They feel that somehow we are scamming them. So that's why the first push for sell for tonight was very hard. So when we changed to a more relaxed approach, getting more info instead of pushing for the sell, the conversation loosened up. But still there was that fear of trust. can I trust it? Will it be okay? Or will the food be okay? So we found out that on the MVP we need to insist on reassuring them.
So did you really get cash? 320 cash?
Yes.
And did they
We gave it back because we didn't have any other hosts for tonight. And for the locals, of course, we were just, how much would you be ready to pay if you'd go like to Paris or somewhere? And they were like, okay, 15 euro, 20 euro, I would prefer to pay 10 and bring my own wine. So we got good feedback from that. The younger the demographics, they were more towards 10, 15 euro, of course. The older, they were like towards 20, 25, asking what wine and so on.
How long does it take, in your opinion,
to turn this into...
turn it into something?
I think that if you do proper customer validation in the bigger cities, like Rome or Milan, you could get really good results for demographics in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, in order to build an MVP. And you can do city by city.
Well, can I just ask a clarifying question? Wasn't that printed out menu? I mean, that's an MVP.
Yes, we had a menu. Because when the guys were calling us back to tell us what they plan to cook for that evening, they gave us a menu with an appetizer, main course, dolce, and wine, beer, and the price for the evening. We informed them that we were going to take 20%, so they adjusted the price so that we gave it back to the coaches, of course, our percentage.
Why a menu is an MVP? I don't understand your solution. I think you validate the problem, but not the solution.
Well, basically, what the website would be is like the picture of the host with the menu that they propose and the price. So instead of building the website, we did the website on the offline. So we did the slides that were supposed to appear. We didn't have the photos of the cooks, unfortunately, and we didn't have the reviews. But we had the menu experience, so people got to choose between multiple menus and multiple prices, so they knew exactly what they were getting into.
No time for other questions. So.
Okay, thanks.
And just to clarify, the menu was an MVP. I mean, they successfully executed this using a concierge model without building anything. The menu was enough to make the sale, and they hustled to line those people up. So that sheet of paper is a perfectly acceptable MVP to run that experiment and get some validated learning back. Next.
Hi, my name is Andre. This is my team. Yonut, Alessio, and our massive very valuable addition, Sonia. We are ePhoto, a service that wants to help smartphone users to sell their photos, earn some money, some pocket money from this. Our service is very simple. The users have to share the photos with us. We'll pick the best ones and publish them across all major stock photo marketplaces. When a picture is sold, user get paid, and of course we get a little commission out of this. So our journey involves 2 pivots and a very hard work hit. We started to validate our original idea, that was making photo albums with beautiful already existing pictures made by professional photographers for people too lazy to make their own photos, or that with the talent to make crappy photos. We choose our segment, tourists with pocket cameras or phone cameras that know that their photos are bad, but still wants to have some beautiful album with their trips. We set our success criteria to 6 of 10 because we're fresh and optimistic. And guess what? Nobody, everybody loves their crappy photos. Go figure. So we have to pivot. Our main current problem, while talking with the people, was that they have a huge amount of pictures. That is very hard to organize. So they made photo and never turn to look at them again, because it's very hard to search from them. We tried to validate this with another segment, young people taking a lot of photos with smartphones. that have this problem, but it turns out that they don't want to do anything about this. They don't want to invest effort or money to solve this problem. So we crash and burn. Luckily, we had another little different idea from our small brainstorm on Friday, and we tried another approach. What if we can use this huge amount of photos in users' interest and our own, of course. So we pick another segment, students with smartphones who are intensive photo makers and want to make some additional pocket money because they're students. We propose a service to sell their pictures on the stock photo market.
2 minutes.
And the riskiest assumption here was that they really were comfortable with selling and sharing their pictures, personal pictures. We get out and talk with people, and we had 9 out of 18 people that said they're interested in this. And the main refusal from the others was some privacy issues, but there were still some interested in this, with this, if this problem is somehow resolved or explained. So yes, people have pics, they're proud of it and want to sell them. So after that, we made build a MVP, a landing page. We printed some flyers, and on the last 100 meters, just 1 hour before 3 o'clock, we get outside to sell this. We still had a lot of refusals, mainly on the privacy issues, but still, we managed to register 9 users. 5 of them sent us pictures. We had another one user registered on Facebook, and we even get a proposal for partnership from a member of some student organization. So that's it. This is our business. Thank you.
It seems that you pivoted a lot of time both the customer segment and the problem they had.
Yeah.
So, new customer segment, new problem. Can you comment on that?
Yeah, it was very interesting because the second pivot, it was we identified that we have a problem with the customer segment, or the problem on how we define it, because we tried to talk with customers about that, with people about that, and we didn't get a positive feedback on nothing. So it was like we are totally in dark. So after that, when we really changed the idea and defined a more clear customer segment, it was much better, and we had a lot of, as you see, we had a lot of more people that give us answers, and a lot of people that said yes, they would like to use our service. So it was a lot of good learning there on this.
What's the difference between young people taking a lot of photos and started with smart and intensive photomaking?
Young people, it was a much larger and fuzzy segment. So as I said, we had a problem with defining the segment. So after that, we get and go and narrow the segment. And it was much better because we were really going and talking with bright people. It was very hard to find young people that are making photos in the Piazza del Duomo, for example, and it was very hard to find people to speak with. But after that, it was much better when we had a much clearer segment.
To 1 minute.
So on column 4, that seems more about all about your solution. You didn't analyze really a customer, right? So the stock photo marketplace, that's not your customer, or is it? And we misunderstood.
It's another important player because we take the photos from users and we publish them on this platform.
Are they your customers? Do you need to sign them up, or you pay them a fee?
No, it's really the other way around. We register as an agency to that platforms, and when they sell the photos, they pay us and take their commission. And after that, we take our commission and pay the user the final cost.
Okay.
So we don't.
All right, thanks.
So forward back at the Hi guys, my name is Przemek and this is my team. We've got this very crazy idea and big idea that we will send people to space. So we wanted to build a space scanner as a sky scanner for sending people to space. So our first approach, our first experiment was that we have to find and validate the customers that would like to go into the space. So we focused on the people that are passionate about sport, want to do new experiences in their life, the new thrilling experiences, and are passionate probably about the flight. The problem we thought they might have is that they do not know where to get the information about the getting to space. So we went to the airport. We thought that the riskiest assumption that we will have is that the people care about it all, so they are interested in the going to space. We decided that our success criterion will be like getting 8 people interested out of 10. So we went to the airport. By the way, it's very easy to get through the gate. They just opened it. And we went also to talking with the people around, and we didn't find actually nobody interested at all in this kind of experience in the life. So we went to the control tower in the airport. Also very easy to get, they just opened the door. So we were talking with the two people about the possible experience about getting to the space and the life-threatening experiences, and they were kind interested. Then the big boss of the airport came and kicked us out from the building. So we talked with totally 3 people out of 10 that might be interested in this kind of solution. So we decided that the idea is not validated, and we have a very big problem in finding a customer that is willing to pay for the solution. So we were back into the office. We started again from scratch, doing a brainstorm session, what we can do again. And we figured out that it might be nice to create Airbnb for cars, so car sharing. So we focused on the customers, trying to find the customers that might have a car but don't use it every day and may need an extra income, but they don't know how to land it. So we talked to the strangers. We decided that if we get three people on the interviews that will confirm this hypothesis, we would have a validated idea. Our riskiest assumption would be that people would trust the strangers to give the car to them. So again, we invalidated the idea. We get 0 out of 10 people that are willing to share their car with the strangers. So we figured out, the lesson learned is that people have a really big trust issue and they treat their cars as something personal.
2 minutes.
We did also a hypothesis that along that people can borrow car to others, want to borrow car from others, but they don't know how to find a solution. Our riskiest assumption would be that the rental will be cheaper than from the rental company, and if we will get 3 out of 10 people confirmed it, we could go proceed with this idea. So we invalidated again. We get 0 out of 10 people that would confirm this, but we already started seeing a pattern in the interviews. We saw that a lot of people were complaining that they don't use the car from Monday to Friday because there is a parking issue. So we started again interviewing a lot of people on the street about the cars, if they use it, when they use it, and we figured out that they don't use it from Monday
from Monday to Friday, and they are riding by bike to work because they have a parking issue, or they are too expensive,
1 minute.
or there is no parking lot. So we did interviews with the customers on the street. We found out that 5 of the 10 person confirmed it. So we went to the parking place sharing space. So we again validated the idea. We get to the people that are riding a bike, checking if they want to have a service to provide the car sharing option, parking place sharing option. So we found out the 8 of 10 people that confirmed our idea, and we decided that it might be a market worth considering, and we have already 8 out of 10 people that are willing to pay for this service.
Can you comment on how you got clarity about your customer problem and riskiest assumption? Because I see it getting much more focused. Can you explain how that evolved over time?
Yeah, so we at the end we figured out, like yesterday, that talking with the people, that we just stopped the people riding on the bikes, and we figured out that they have riding mainly on the bike because to work and from work from Monday to Friday because they don't have a parking space, and their cars are on their parking lots near home, staying there from Monday to Friday. And yeah, we also had a riskiest assumption that there will be a problem that people will be afraid that after they came back from to home, their parking lot will be not free because the guy is late or something. But nobody confirmed this situation, so we figured out that it's not the risk that we should consider.
Right. So it seems to me that at the beginning you pivoted really a lot,
yeah.
But also because you set success criteria that selling today flights to the space of 8 people out of 10 that you meet in the streets. That seemed a very, very strong.
Yeah, we didn't focus only on the street. We started talking with the people that might know also the very rich customers. But we figured out also that doing in 3 days, reaching the people that are wealthy might be very, very hard to do. So we decided also because of that to pivot to something else.
Right. And also, there are companies that actually give you the means to rent your car or lend your car and borrow because they give you electronics. And that seems as well that you kind of pivoted because 0 out of 10, well, maybe you didn't start analyzing the solution, or that was not the riskiest assumption. So it seems to me that you kind of very much pivoted to a completely different problem. Yeah. At the beginning without maybe entering the assumptions that much. Can you comment on that?
Yeah, well...
Was that a question of moral? Was that a question of
Yeah, okay, so if I understood the question correctly, we actually went to the analyzing the assumptions, and we were talking with many people on the street, but everybody thought that, yeah, letting the car to the strange person would be like something very, people treat their cars as something personal. And we also didn't want to focus on the car rentals company.
Just comment. That's part of the solution there, because the customer. Okay, just comment. The customer who has a car doesn't use it, and the problem is that how can I monetize the use? That was the solution is already inside there. That's why you have a problem. Sorry.
There's no more time. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry.
Thank you.
Bureaucracy.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Lewis, and I'm from Bureaucracy, which is the local event planner for bars. Here's our team. We've got Valerio, myself, Daniele, and Zori. And we've also got the boss, this timekeeper, introduced to us by our fantastic mentor, Lorenzo. And so we started off with a very simple idea. The idea was that we would help people at bars select what music they would want to play at the bar. And things quickly changed. So we decided we'd head to a bar first thing and start talking to some people. Now the bar owner's very busy at night time, so we decided we'd talk to the bar customers. We went up to them, we asked them if they'd like to change the music, and overwhelmingly people said yes, I want to have my own song played. We then asked, would you pay for that? And they said, no one wanted to pay. And so we put together, we started putting together our experiment board, and we wanted to focus the next day on the actual bar owners of venues with live music. We assumed that they didn't have very good ways of attracting customers. And so we went out the next day and we started talking to the bar owners. We went in with an open mind. We asked, what are the problems that you face with your bar? And we started seeing what they were saying. To our surprise, they started talking about bureaucracy. So they're saying when they want to have an event, which is the main way they attract customers, it's a very bureaucratic process. They have to go to the council, apply for consent for the event, for each and every event. But these events are very important to them because it can increase their revenue from anywhere between 30 to 50%. And so we started gathering all of this information, and we came back to our board. We then hypothesized that one of the major problems is that these bar owners spend a lot of time organizing their event, mostly in terms of the bureaucracy. And so we went back out, we started talking with some more people, but actually I think it was the time of the day, very difficult to get hold of the right bar owners, and we didn't manage to gather that much data. It was a very frustrating process for us because it left us going around in circles, not sure about how to progress. And then we realized we just didn't have enough data. And that's when we decided to go back out onto the street again. We even started brainstorming wacky ideas, because some of the bars that complain they get fined for having music late at night. And devices like this, you put it on the window and it stops the noise from entering from outside. So we went on and we wanted to investigate the same kind of problem, but this time we wanted to look at a possible solution and offer a solution for them, which was to deal with that bureaucracy for them. So we started going around, we got a lot of interest from these bars. They started handing out their email addresses, giving us the phone numbers of the bar owners, telling us that they would like us to handle that bureaucracy for them. And then it got a bit late at night, so we decided again we'd go and talk to some more of the bar customers and present this party pass idea, which was a pass that would give them access to parties around Trento. And to our surprise, they don't really believe that there would be any great parties in Trento that would last past 11 o'clock at night. So yeah, they just didn't believe it. So back to the board, next day we decided, okay, let's focus, because a lot of the bars we talked to, they said, actually, we'd like you to handle the whole event, not just the bureaucracy. So we started talking with people again. We created some contracts focusing on both bureaucracy and also managing the events. And we started to see some really great results. We went and talked to one bar. They said, yes, we will pay 1,600 euros for, I think it was 4 events, 400 euros per event. Another bar, 1,000, 5 events at 200 euros. Another bar, another 1,200, leaving us with a total of 3,800 euros.
I'm over.
Yeah. how many events for what kind of service?
Yeah, so the idea was that we would cover the entire process of organising the event. We'd get the council permission, we'd handle the payment of royalties for the music, and we'd also help
royalties for the music you pay.
Yeah, so included in these contracts, so in this contract we actually said that the royalties would be on top of the fee that they would pay. But basically they wouldn't have to worry about organising, funding the music or the DJ or band. We'd cover that process for them.
So you cover the bureaucracy and also the organisation of the event.
Yep.
Finding the artists.
And how many events are you are behind this amount of money?
So behind this amount, so we had 4 at 400, 5 and 6, so 11, 5, so 16, 15? 15 events behind this amount.
Have you estimated if this is a reasonable price, meaning what's the margin that you would get out of it?
So we started to look into it. We didn't have much time to really go into details.
Because it might be that they were buying because this is below cost.
And perhaps quite possibly. And I think from this amount though, we might actually be able to come up with more innovative solutions to help meet their needs. So maybe, for instance, they couldn't afford a proper DJ, but maybe we could provide a service where they get all that great music that DJs produce, just without the actual DJ being present. So I think there's a lot of room for innovation around this price point because they're not doing events currently.
And these are also
should we give space to...
What's the technology?
No technology.
No technology?
No, this is as lean as you can get.
This is something that goes back to the Paolo's question. Without technology, you have just 252
Yeah, exactly. It's great.
euros per event. You cannot work.
So I think there's a lot of room for innovation around this.
No, because it's important, you know. It's a very important point.
Yeah.
Because you have to consider that, well, later on you can say, I do not want to waste time. Because the problem of CI and everything, it's always a big problem for
and you could imagine we could start to automate this bureaucratic process for people, and we could try to automate some of the or reduce the cost of the expense of having these events.
Time is over for questions. Who's next?
È un segno dell'Apocalisse. A meno che non fai un package.
So you were talking.
Hello. We are Capital Scouts. Last time I've seen you, we've presented you a solution really. And when we went to the board, we were all over the place. We had a lot of customers, we have really broad problems. So we decided to scrap this all and just go lean. We started with startups, defining a customer which was a startup seeking funding, which has no network to rely on to get the funding from. The biggest assumption was that these startups would like to rely on Facebook groups, the social network that they knew, for help to broaden their professional network. If we get 50% of people agreeing on that, we will have validation. Guess what? 0 of 17 people that we interviewed relied on Facebook to do this. But we learned a lot. We went to Povo, we stole a car from Cristiano, other guys went to talk to other startups here in TechPeaks. And what we've learned really was that people didn't know where to go to find an investors and who to approach. And some people were a little bit too optimistic with their ideas. That they thought that they will get investors lining up for them, and they will have to choose. But the problem was that they didn't know who to approach, and even if they had a lot of investors, they didn't know who to choose. We've changed a little bit the customer as well. So we were focusing on startups, EU startups, 25 to 200K funding, who wanted to raise this kind of money. And the biggest problem was that these people, the risky assumption was that these people didn't know who were the investors they wanted to approach. The validation criteria, we wanted to interview at least 10 startups, and if 50% of them agree with the assumption, we would have a validation.
So we spoke to 12 startups, of which 10 agreed and validated that this is a real problem for them. 8 of them would actually pay, and 3 of those would pay big money, more than 200 euros. But we learned a lot more in those conversations as well. The main thing was that it's much more about they didn't know even who to target, far before they get to a point of choosing which money to take. And then we learned a lot about how they're targeting, about the time they're spending trawling blogs and articles, trawling angel lists, looking on LinkedIn, going to events, trying to find these investors that they should be speaking to. So that's at the basis of the next experiment. Again, startups pre-seed, raising money in the EU. The problem is they don't know which investors to target. And we proposed a solution that for 200 euros, we will give you the relevant list of the 100 best investors for you to target. The test for this was we want to get 5 signed letters of intention, and we went out and we got 6 non-binding and 2 binding letters signed. We validated that people filled this problem and they were prepared to pay to solve it. So 2 little other experiments we started running today. We started testing it with startups that had already raised money. And the unanimous there with the 4 we spoke today was that no one was interested. They had the networks already and they had the contacts, not any good for them. Happened to have a conversation with a guy that runs Oxygen Accelerator in the UK. And he suggested they'd be prepared to pay 1,000 euros to buy this en masse for the whole of their cohort. But again, we've got no real validation on that. So let's go on. So these are startups that we got contracts or letters of intention today, and we got a little demo from someone here. Is that going to be able to be heard by everybody?
1 minute.
That's fine. There's a little guy talking, he just goes, look, I would love to use Capital Scout and I'd love to pay 200 euros for it. If we, this is another guy signing a letter for us, but if we were to wrap all that up for us, we found a customer, which was European-based startups that were trying to raise money for the first time. And we found that they had a real problem. They didn't even know which investors they should be targeting. And it was such a problem that they were prepared to pay 1,180 euros as a start. Thanks very much, guys. Any questions, guys?
So basically, you didn't come up with the solution, right? You just went through several iterations to find out that there is a need, but
yeah,
find a solution.
I mean, this literally says that if we delivered you 100 investors, you would pay us 200 euros. That's what they literally say. I mean, the interesting thing actually behind this is that the tech is the difficult part. But I mean, I spent 6 months before I came here working on the project, which was about getting this data, and I have privileged access to it. So we can actually very, very quickly have a dirty MVP that actually did this together. And if there's still some stuff we want to build to make that better, but it can be useful very, very quickly. So I mean, we have a very unique competitive advantage to this actually, because actually getting that data together is actually very difficult.
And this is a small concierge experiment. So startups are providing us with data, and we will get back to them with the 100 startups that they want to get in touch with.
So,
It was not 200 per month. This was 200 lump sum, right? To get the list. Is that correct?
It actually was 200 per month. In all the conversations, a lot of the conversation was that I wouldn't expect to have to pay for this for hopefully more than a couple of months. Absolutely, and then we were talking. I mean,
like dating.
Absolutely, and like we would drill into the business model here because I think that you would much probably prefer or rather to go first 100, 200 euros, next 100, 180 euros, next 100, 160 euros, right? And to kind of take that approach. And then let people do it in their own time. But we didn't validate the best way to take payment for this. We validated that the people were prepared to pay for this.
There is a platform behind it.
So the minute there's, again, like I said, the minute there's absolutely nothing. The only thing I'm talking about is that the unique thing is that I have access to a data set which would allow us to do this. I'm talking about all this data is out there, it's just in like 100 different places, and you spend days or even weeks, depending on how long you're spending on this, looking for just the people you should even be targeting. And so bringing that all together and bringing it into a system, matching it into a system, clearing out the crap, and then putting that up into an interface that people can use is.
Because you mentioned later, then you mentioned other platform and so on, there is always the possibility of invoking the APIs of such platforms in order to you get the name and you get also the possibility to send an email, a message on LinkedIn or a phone call and so on. I mean, there is something that can widen your business, just as an idea.
Okay. Time off. Did you have a question? All right. 3 minutes over.
Perfect. Thanks, Graham.
Hello everybody. My name is Marco and I will share with you a story on how we came from a mobile application that educates the parents, the young parents, to the marketplace for the used childhood by using lean methodologies. Well, so basically we started on the Monday evening. There you see a simple chart which we used to extract potential customers and their problems. So Tuesday in the morning. Our first problem was our original problem was that young parents have to learn on how to be a good parent, you know. Well, basically we immediately went out of the building and successfully invalidated our first hypothesis. In the meantime, we actually extracted quite a lot of useful information. One of them, that the biggest problem with the young parents is a lack of sleep. So we immediately started to tackle that problem. We are quite enthusiastic about it because we have a couple of friends of which they all experience the frustration. Unfortunately, you know, the second no-no. Out of the 11 people we interviewed, only one said that a lack of sleep is a problem for them. Because many of them stated that, well, even of those kids who wake up in the evening, this is not too big of a problem for them. So we started the third iteration, and we also sensed during the interviews the problem when, you know, for the young parents which are working, when some unexpected situations occur, you know, they have to work a little bit longer. It's very problematic for them to find a caring, you know, for their children in such unexpected situations. So this was our third hypothesis, which was unfortunately also invalidated. You know, apparently better solution exists. Many of the young parents have grandparents nearby, or perhaps they can hire a babysitter, or even ask their friends to take care of the baby for the time they are in such unexpected situations. So basically, at this point of time, it was yesterday evening, we were desperate. It was 11 o'clock, our experimentation board looked like this, lot of thrown out hypotheses and nothing useful. So basically, it was our last chance. Basically, we went with an idea of a friend of ours that, when you are a young parent and your child grows up, you basically have a lot of stuff that you don't need it anymore. And on the other hand, when you are a young parent, you need the stuff for your child, but that stuff is very expensive, So you often are looking to buy the used stuff for your baby. So the last hypothesis was to create a kind of marketplace for the exchange of these goods for the children. Well, basically we went out of the building and it was our first validation. So basically, let me show you what we did. Yesterday in the evening, we produced a simple landing page and put it out to a couple of Italian Facebook groups for parents. So the result was like this. In 14 hours, we got 33 likes to the post of the people we didn't know. The strangers liked our idea. There was 22 comments, 8 people were actually quite enthusiastic about it. As a consequence, our landing page got 151 visits, 35 people left emails with us, which meant we had kind of 20% conversion. Today, early in the morning, we decided to do a little bit of concierging. So basically, we put up a little Google Forms.
You have 30 seconds.
Okay, Google Forms, where we collected the stuff where the parents who could what could offer and what would require. So in 3 hours, we received 4 offers of the stuff they don't use and 3 requests for the stuff. Basically, and today we have also the interview. 4 people gave us positive feedback. We got 2 mails.
Time off, sorry.
So did you take somebody's baby in that last picture?
It is a picture of mother signing a letter of intent. Not the letter of intent, she gave us her email.
Taking the clothes off the baby to give them to.
Others exchanging babies.
Seemed like it took a long time for you to get to the new idea, a new test. Why is that? Because you were stuck with did you have difficulty in leaving the first hypothesis?
It was kind of like that, with the lack of sleep, it was kind of a problem because in the first iteration, we got quite a strong feedback that this could really be a problem for the parents, which unfortunately proved up to be wrong, at least with the people we interviewed. Then the second problem was also that, we aren't so much used to these lean methodologies, and it actually was quite a waste of time. Basically. So a little bit of unlucky choice with the problems and perhaps the customers.
Do you have children?
No, a friend of ours from the team will be getting one. So
You will find out that moms can survive without sleeping. You can't. You are a man. This is the point. Yes, the problem is the mom. It's not the children.
Awesome. Good job, guys. So
How's everyone doing?
Good.
We have one last presentation. About to come up.
One last?
One last. Yeah, one last presentation. One more. One more. Yeah. That's you. One more.
All right.
Thank you. So, hi everybody. I'm Paolo from Surprise Holiday. So today I'm going to tell you the story of this company that went from travel planning service to a surprise holiday service in 70 hours. Pretty big change. This is the team. Echo, myself, and Lucas. Thanks guys, great job. So how did it all start? So first of all, Lucas had a problem on Monday evening. He said, when I travel, I always struggle to find interesting places to visit around me. So we thought, that's quite interesting. Let's see if there are other people that have the same problem. We did a little research and we realized the students are the main target for this type of service. So we went out to the building, the university, and we asked people what they were thinking about it. It was pretty demoralizing because none of them was actually interested in planning or discovering stuff to do in their holidays. However, we got an interesting finding that students struggle with time and money for their holiday. So we pivoted and we thought, look, we can maybe do something about money. So what is it about money that they struggle with? They don't know how much money they have in their pocket. So the assumption was, maybe they run out of money before the end of the holiday, and that's the big problem they have. We spoke to them again, and actually we realized that even though they spend much more than what they plan to spend, they don't care. They just want to have fun and enjoy their time there. So there wasn't a big payoff. Fine, so what else can we do with money? Maybe we can help them to save money. We realized that actually they care about saving on travel, hotel, and food because they want to spend more money on drinks and maybe parties. We went again out and we asked them, all right, do you guys spend a lot of time searching for good deals to save money? And they were like, yes, we love to find the best deal out there, and we spend lots of time doing it. And then we said, bingo, let's just make a service that helps them to find better deals quickly. So we thought about this group purchasing service, like Groupon for students that want to buy holiday. We started building it, it was a solution, and then got the building and tested, but it was about 11 p.m. on Tuesday night, and we said, this thing is like a little bit boring to build, we're not going to do it anyway, probably it's not going to even work. So we decided to start thinking about other solutions, and we couldn't think of anything interesting. After a while, we said, you know what? Scrap planning. It's boring. Fuck it. Just let's do something else. And we came up with the idea of surprise holiday. Why surprise? Well, because we thought, look, maybe now there is a problem. The problem of excitement in vacation. So you start the vacation, you plan everything, it's all settled. There is not this sort of enthusiasm of things that you can do that you don't know about. So we said, all right, then, let's help. Who can we help with that? Maybe young couples, they are bored, they want a spark in their life. And yeah, let's check this out. We went out and tested the assumption that was, are you going to pay if you're a young couple to be surprised on holiday? And actually, it was amazing. We got a fantastic response. Now, 9 out of 10 couples, they will actually pay for it. So what was the next step? Let's just build this thing. And we did. So this is our landing page. It's actually live at the moment. You can check it out. Our slogan, because only boring people plan holiday. So this is how it works. You pick a place. You can say, I want to go to Ibiza and fun, or I want a romantic trip in Trento. And then you pick your weekend. You just say, I'm free, this time. And the final part is, you choose a plan, For $4.99, you have a curiosity plan, 2 nights in hotel,
1 minute.
tickets, return flight, and you will find out where you're going among your choice 1 week before departure. The most expensive $9.99 called Adventure, you will actually find out where your destination is when you get there. That's our surprise mechanism. Yeah, so how did it work out? Pretty good. We went out to the building, we interviewed people, and we got 9 emails plus a business card from a travel agency that said she wanted to do business with us. That's pretty good. So in terms of money, we estimated about €40 per email. So 9 times 40, 360, which is not huge. But if it works out with Viaggio del Buon Consiglio, maybe we can make much more than that. So that's pretty much it, and thanks.
Paolo, why 50% as success criterion across all of them? Why 50?
Because it's more than half. It's like gambling, I don't know, you just go for that. It's not scientific, but kind of.
What is your concern that you collect from the interview that you made with your potential customers?
Maybe some details about what were basically the type of surprise we organize when they get there. Like if it's more about, going to a restaurant they didn't know about, or if more about like the attraction there, the things they're gonna do in the place. They were like a little bit curious about how it's gonna work in practice. Because they like the idea of the surprise, but they want a little bit more information to say, oh, I really want to buy it or not. I think it has to be like a bespoke type of offer for depending on the couple we're talking to.
What would you do if you had one more day?
I would just try to negotiate with these guys because they look pretty interested and try to get a deal with them. And they also have a big network already, so we can start testing this thing properly. And the website is actually working. You can. What's the domain? Lucas.
Surprise for the GDM season.
We can improve. We'll improve on the domain.
There's 1 minute left, so.
I can go back to the landing page.
How long did it take you to build the landing page? Because it looks like you have multiple pages.
But it's like a WordPress theme, and you just like basically the pages go up one on top of the other, like layers.
Yeah.
It took about a few hours. It looked it's pretty good. I just also take advantage. I want to thank Francesco and Vittorino and the other Francesco in the back because actually they were quite supporting when we were traveling around the city and to ask people stuff. It was good.
Did you find that the surprise dimension was interesting all across the people you interviewed, or were just some segment more interesting?
The thing is, we were pretty targeted when we went to speak about the surprise thing. We mainly went to young couples, so it was like consistent across the segment. Some of them were actually quite like teenager kind of age. The other ones were more like about 30 years old, but they were both interested.
Okay. Time is up.
All right, everybody, we are finished, just about. We need to do a little bit of a deliberation, so the judges are going to evaluate the presentations, but before we do that, you guys did a wonderful job. There was a lot of learning, obviously, so let's give each and every one of us while the judges and I deliberate, Mark is going to actually facilitate a little bit of a reflection exercise, a retroactive exercise. So we would love to hear you guys discuss about your experience and what were some of the key takeaways. And we'll be back in 15 minutes, all right?